Are you planning a trip to Italy and want to stop in Milan? Well, today we're going to give you some very important tips to know to make your visit in Milan even more special.
Stay tuned.
Hi everyone, I'm Rick.
And I'm Andrea, and today we will give you some very important tips to know before visiting Milan that will make your trip even more perfect. But first, if you like travel-related videos like this one, now is a great time to hit the subscribe button down below so you'll never miss any future videos.
That's great advice.
Well, thank you.
I'm sure they've already hit that subscribe
sure
button. Yeah, absolutely, right.
So let's begin with our first tip, how to get to Milan. If you're new to our channel, we made an entire video about how to get to Milan. If you haven't seen it yet, here is a little summary on how to get to Milan. But you can see the video up here. Milan has two airports, Milan Linate, that is close by to the city center and connects to most domestic flights and European flights. The second airport in Milan is Milano Malpensa, which is located about 1 hour approximately outside the city center that connects with most international flights and some low-cost flights. Milan is also incredibly well connected with Rome, Florence, Venice, Naples and Torino, or Turin, with the Italian high-speed train system. In fact, the high-speed trains is our favorite way to get to Milan.
Definitely.
Absolutely. We do not recommend driving in Milan because of traffic and the lack of parking and the infamous
ZTL, yeah,
ZTL
exactly.
In limited traffic zones.
Right, so moving on to our next tip about Milan, and that's to plan at least 2 days. Now, Milan is a wonderful city that has a lot to offer, so we strongly recommend you to plan at least 2 full days in the city. 3 days and 2 nights would be even better. Now, in Milan, like I said, there's a lot to see. We made an entire video about it, so definitely check it out if you haven't already. Now, if you're planning on taking a side trip from Milan to, let's say, Lake Como, remember that this is going to take you at least 1 full day, and we're going to leave a link in the description below for a great tour from Milan to Lake Como that you can take.
Absolutely. Our next tip for you before visiting Milan is best time to visit. In our opinion, the best season to visit Milan are late spring and early fall. During the summer, especially in August, the temperature in Milan can be really hot and uncomfortable. For this reason, we do not recommend visiting Milan in August. Also, lots of stuff is closed in August. In the winter, Milan can be quite cold and would not be ideal for visit. However, there is an exception. December in Milan is a wonderful time to visit. Yes, the temperature can be quite cold in December, usually around 5 to 7 Celsius or 44 to 41 Fahrenheit during the day and 1 or 2 Celsius or 33-35 Fahrenheit at night. But the city is incredibly decorated for Christmas, and Christmas shopping in Milan is a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Yeah, especially around the Duomo and all of the Galleria and all of that.
Stunning. So.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so time to talk about our next tip for visiting Milan, and that's use the metro. So Milan has a fantastic metro system. In fact, you can reach almost every major attraction in Milan by using the metro. The metro is also very affordable. In fact, at the time of the recording, a daily pass costs €7.60, and a 3-day pass costs about €13, or €13 again at the time of the recording. You can buy your ticket at the metro station using the automated machines, and also many of the newsstands also sell tickets. There's also an app that you can download that gives you all the information about the Milan metro system, and we'll leave a link in the description below for it. And by the way, I should mention that if you're only going to be using the metro once or twice, you can just tap your phone. Now, Milan also has an excellent and historic tram system. I haven't used it. Have you used it?
A long time ago.
Well, some of the trams are more than 100 years old, and they're still in use. In fact, I video them all the time, but yeah. Taking the tram in Milan is probably an experience on its own, and you should definitely try it, I think, and so should we, actually. By the way, the Metro Pass also works for the trams as well, so don't hesitate to give them a try as well.
Absolutely. Moving on to our next tip about visiting Milan, book your hotel strategically. When booking a hotel in Milan, you want to stay relatively close to the city center. In fact, you don't want to spend too much time commuting to reach the different attraction. If you only have 2 or 3 days in the city, so you don't want to spend hours in the bus or train.
Or in transit, right?
Yeah. Of course, the best area to stay is right in the city center, but it's also the most expensive area to stay. If you're looking for some more budget-friendly places to stay, the area near the Stazione Centrale or the main train station offer a variety of hotels and B&B suited for every budget.
Exactly.
You can also consider hotels in other areas of the city as long as they are very close to the red M1 or yellow M2 subway line. These two lines are the easiest and most convenient that you can get to reach Piazza del Duomo or the real true core of Milan. Also, the new blue M4 line stops not too far from the Duomo and goes all the way to Linate Airport. Any hotel near a metro station along these lines is a very good choice.
Right. And I've also left a link in the description below for some information about all of the areas that you can stay in Milan.
Absolutely.
All right, so next up on this Milan video, and that's avoid busy weeks. You probably know that Milan is one of the fashion and design capitals of the world. Actually, I think it is the fashion capital of the world. And for this reason, there are two main events that happen in Milan that draw thousands of visitors each and every year. One is Fashion Week, which is usually in mid-September, and the other one is called Salone del Mobile, or Furniture Week, and that usually happens around mid-April. And these two events can be a lot of fun if you like that kind of stuff, but they're also the busiest times in the cities, and during these times, hotels are booked solid and are incredibly expensive. So prices, boom, they skyrocket. So if you're looking for a hotel and it's expensive, that's why it is. Now, on top of that, it's also really hard to find good tables at restaurants. Stores are packed. Taxis are difficult to find.
You get the picture.
Yeah, exactly. Bottom line, unless you're really interested in fashion or furniture, we suggest you to avoid Milan during those two events.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving on to our next tip about visiting Milan, book your attraction in advance. This tip is valid not only in Milan, but pretty much everywhere in Italy and in the world, actually. You should always book your tickets and ideally skip the line tickets in advance before traveling to any place. It will save you time because you don't want to spend an entire day in line.
You really will, actually. Yes. We've seen lines around the block.
Very long.
Yeah.
And most importantly, you don't want to risk to wait in line for the hours and then get the ticket office and to find out that the attraction is sold out.
This happens all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is particularly important in Milan if you want to see Leonardo da Vinci Last Supper. In fact, only a few people a day are allowed to enter the Cenacolo to see the Leonardo masterpiece.
I would say a few lucky people.
Yeah, because the degrading of the painting. For this reason, also, tickets are sold out for weeks in advance.
Yeah.
So, if you want to see this incredible fresco, we strongly recommend you to buy the ticket as soon as possible. As soon as you know you're going to Milan, buy the ticket. We leave a link in the description below for the ticket to buy, and we did it ourselves. And it's actually it was very beautiful.
Definitely worth it. All right, so this is our last tip to know before visiting Milan, and that's try some of the local specialties. Like any other place in Italy, Milan has some fantastic local specialties that you should try when visiting. Now, the most famous dish in Milan is the risotto alla milanese. And this is a very fragrant risotto dish that has lots of saffron, so it's got a red hue. And one very common way to serve it in Milan is with veal ossobuco, a tender and delicious braised veal shank. And also, don't forget to try one of my personal favorites. That's the cotoletta Milanese. And that's a veal schnitzel that's usually served on the bone. And last, if you're in Milan, don't forget to try a Campari. This is the red drink that was invented in 1860, and the recipe is still a secret today.
Absolutely. Well, folks, this concludes our video today. We hope you have learned something that will make your visit to Milan even more special. As usual, if you have any question, please leave a comment below. We love to hear back from you and answer all your questions the best we can.
Absolutely. And if anybody ever asks you how you know all of this stuff, just tell them.
We live here.
I was going to say follow Travel Addicts Life. In the meantime, we'll see you in our next video.
Ciao.